Hi people, it's Archivist here, coming at you with yet another Who Would Win video. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you'll know that I'm a big fan of monsters. And so I thought it only fitting to make a monster themed matchup, including two of my favourite monsters from gaming. The first is the terrifying and mysterious Songbird, protector of the lamb and Columbia's watcher. The second is Evolve's Goliath, a brutal bipedal fire breather. Both monsters specialise in brute force. They're tough, strong and unrelenting. For this video we are going to assume that the Goliath begins at stage 3. So who would win in a fight? Songbird or the Goliath? Beginning with Booker's Bane, Songbird is a creature with a heavily veiled past. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure what Songbird is. Considering it's based on the blueprints of a Big Daddy, there is a possibility that a human is operating on the inside. However, the creature's size makes this doubtful. Regardless of what it is though, Songbird is a monster not to mess around. It can fly at incredible speeds, endure sustained damage, and smash through structures with ease. Attached to the monster's feet and hands are a trio of talon-like spikes. So even if the punch isn't enough, the sharp points can puncture tough flesh. I'd suspect even that of the Goliaths given a few direct blows. Songbird's one major weakness is high pressure, so needless to say an underwater fight wouldn't last long. Also, the ability to fly is an obvious advantage for Songbird, both in terms of defense and offense. At high speed, Songbird can deal enormous damage when colliding with a target. And of course there's the ability to fly off and recuperate should Songbird find itself overwhelmed. Admittedly, Songbird hasn't shown many examples of special abilities other than flight, meaning that in a fight, strength would be its greatest ally. Moving on now to the mighty Goliath, this monster also relies heavily on strength, but also has the added bonus of being able to breathe fire. Not only can it unleash a blazing inferno, but it can do so on a regular basis. As well as the initial damage, the flames will continue to burn away at the victim. Furthermore, the Goliath can rip a piece of rock from the ground and then throw it towards the target for devastating ranged damage. This could potentially make for a very effective counter to a Songbird swoop attack. Moreover, the Goliath can charge on all fours, knocking opponents aside as well as covering ground quickly. The Goliath may not be able to fly, however it is still a surprisingly agile creature. It can climb over objects quickly and jump long distances, sometimes with a devastating smash upon impact. Finally, the Goliath is also extremely durable. The fact it can withstand sustained gunfire from multiple sources for long periods of time demonstrates just how tough this monster is. So, who do you think would win in the clash between these two monsters? Would Songbird's raw might and flight give it the edge, or would the Goliath's inferno incinerate the bird of prey? Let me know in the comments below. Remember, for this fight the Goliath begins at stage 3, with full armour. Also, Songbird is in mint condition, so to speak. As always people, thanks very much for watching and see you next time.